Following a very exciting Vultures listening experience held last night in Phoenix, Arizona, it has become very clear to me that Vultures 2 is not even close to finished whatsoever.
I love leaky!
We actually learned a ton of new information in general from last night's listening party, starting with an upcoming album being worked on by North titled Elementary School Dropout, which she announced live at the show.
And it's called Elementary School Dropout.
This is pretty wild considering how young she is, but her feature vocals on Talking are super popular, as evident by the entire crowd singing along to the song at basically every LP so far. Also, it's almost guaranteed that Kanye will have some hand in developing North's album, which makes me think we could definitely see a song like Matthew get booted off Vultures and into the hands of North.
Save our lives, Savior.
Okay, I go on a plane to get away from this pain. I know it's such a shame. I know blue like my veins. I know cut it short like bangs. I know it's just the same. I know it's so lame. I know you feel my pain.
I know it's a little girl standing by.
We last heard Matthew on December 15th at the Vegas rave, and it really seemed like a solo North song at that point, featuring Kanye, Ty, and Charlie Wilson. So perhaps it'll stay that way and become a dedicated member of Elementary School Dropout. After the North announcement, the show was pretty tame until Kanye got to Fuck Some, which had a whole host of changes. It first had a noticeably boosted melody at the beginning of the song, followed by some additional changes JPEG Mafia had made to it, which he was teasing throughout the past few days, all capped off with Quavo's amazing feature verse placed back into the song coming after the Travis section. It's really quite unclear what Kanye is planning to do with Fuck Some at this point, but if he does end up going the route of releasing alternate demos and song updates via Yeezy.com, this could very well be something I see being put up there. Following Fuck Some, we got another surprise when Beg Forgiveness was played, but this time with vocal involvement from the Ultras, who famously did the backing track from Carnival. The Ultras also made another surprise appearance when they were featured on a new version of Enemies, which we first heard just a few days ago at the Yeezy Office private LP. In terms of other Vultures 2 material that got played, we heard a brand new song featuring only vocals from 070 Shake that we currently do not know the title of. This was actually absurd hearing it because Shake and Kanye haven't worked together in quite some time, and this song has some pretty crazy potential if it gets fleshed out with Ty and Kanye sections and a more developed beat. Shake's vocals, as usual, are absolutely heavenly, but this one needs a bit more meat on its bones before I'm ready to label it a grail. We also got to hear songs like Promotion, Dead, Slide, Poppin', and Believer, which sounds like it has some new production when compared to what we heard at the private Vultures 2 listening party.
Baby that, baby I believe it, baby that. Make me a believer, make me 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 that. Make me a
In general, Believer just sounds a bit more stripped back, while at the Yeezy office it was huge and bombastic and just sounded super epic. My running theory is that the 070 Shake intro is part of Believer since they were played back to back, and because Believer gives massive Ghost Town vibes. Rounding out new things we heard is Field Trip, which was played this time with Ty's verse basically fully cut out. The song still maintained its Cardi, Don Toliver, and Lil Durk feature vocals and sported a brand new outro/beat switch that sounds wild. Maybe Ty's verse is gonna get moved to this new section, which is also where we'll see Kanye place his vocals, but as of right now, it seems like Field Trip is undergoing some major renovations. The reason why I say that Vultures 2 is nowhere near finished is because Kanye played 3 solo songs last night that are all confirmed to be on the album. The 070 Shake intro, Believer with Ty, and Enemies with just Ye and the Ultras all do not sound like they are release ready. A good comparison for songs like those in their current state is to Beg Forgiveness when it was played in Miami with just Chris Brown vocals. At the time, we literally thought it was just going to be an interlude with no Ty or Kanye because people kept saying, oh, the album's finished, it's ready to go. But then we ended up getting delay after delay, and when everything was said and done, Beg Forgiveness got massively expanded upon to give Ty and Kanye both dedicated vocal sections. In fact, no song on Vultures 1 is as underdeveloped as Believer and Enemies from a collaborative standpoint. Even basically solo demos like King, Problematic, and Hood Rat had Ty doing at least a few lines, and I expect Vultures 2 to be no different, so songs like Poppin' featuring Project Pat, along with Believer, Enemies, Gone, and the 070 Shake one are just more evidence that the album has quite a long ways to go before it's release ready. Speaking of releases, it seems like Vultures 2 may not initially be dropped on streaming platforms, which we learned from Kanye himself yesterday. There was a shit ton of back and forth between Kanye and fans, with Ye's position basically being that when he drops music on streaming platforms on Spotify and Apple, he barely sees any monetary profit, which is why he's now thinking about only distributing Vultures 2 via Yeezy.com. One of his ideas was to exclusively release the project for $20 through the Yeezy website, and then a month later drop the album on streaming services. I think a lot of this boils down to Kanye's financial situation now that he's an independent artist and is responsible for a lot of costs that would normally be footed by a label. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure what is going to happen here, but the last time Kanye released an album not through streaming services with Donda 2, it got pretty mediocre sales numbers despite netting him some decent cash, so I could see him learning from that experience for Vultures 2. Personally, I think Kanye is gonna do what is best for him regardless of what the fans want, which might end up being a non-streaming platform release, but we will just have to wait and see. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and let me know down in the comments if you think Vultures 2 will end up getting the Donda 2 treatment.